Namaste everyone and welcome to our second podcast episode on strengthening youth for green hydrogen, brought to you by Youth for Green Hydrogen. My name is Mahir Gupta. I'm an intern at Youth for Green Hydrogen, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about the mega dialogue we hosted on green hydrogen on this World Environment Day. The purpose of this dialogue was to strengthen global youth voices in stepping up to provide solutions to reach the net zero emission target and end the climate emergency with, you guessed it, green hydrogen. So in case you did miss this one-of-a-kind dialogue, don't worry, we got you covered. We'll be discussing the deliberations of key speakers in engaging young women and men in the green hydrogen space, the importance of green hydrogen as a fuel, the role it will play in the future, the importance of the youth in this movement, and so much more in this episode. It's going to be a thrilling ride, so without further ado, let's dive right in. To begin, we have with us Mr. Avik Sappal, a student and intern at Youth for Green Hydrogen, to talk about what was said about the importance of green hydrogen at this dialogue. Welcome, Avik.
Thank you, Mahir. It is lovely to be back. So let me get right to it. At a mega dialogue, we have key speakers highlight the importance of green hydrogen as the fuel of the future, as the solution to transport-related climate crisis. We have Jonas Moberg, the CEO of Green Hydrogen Organization, say, "We cannot achieve the transition to clean and renewable energy without green hydrogen. That's why we are going from 0 to 60 in terms of green hydrogen production in a very short period of time." Mahir, I heard it live and it was such an educative and inspirational talk.
I heard it live too, Avik, and I agree. It truly was. And I also remember Dr. Satyendra Prasad, Fiji's ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations, saying this with relation to green hydrogen's importance. Green hydrogen offers a significant mix of the solutions that the world needs. So, solutions exist, technologies exist.
Yes, me too. We had Ashan Pereira, founder of the Road to Right, say, "One way to change the world is green hydrogen. That's why it's very important to talk about this topic, research, understand, learn, and innovate in this area." Then there was Tanvi Kanujia, who pointed out how green hydrogen will play a key role in decarbonizing the industries of the world. Furthermore, Maria Jose Gracino, a student of global governance in Spain, also said, "Green hydrogen is the key for urgent action against the climate crisis." Really, everyone from Hava TK Diablo, who is the chief of the Civil Society Unit, Department of Global Communications, United Nations, to Ravi Karkara, who is the co-founder of Green Hydrogen, to Tanvi Kanujia, the student of development studies at the Geneva Graduate Institute, all talked about the great importance of green hydrogen. But that isn't all.
Yes, it wasn't. We had so many other interesting things talked about, like the importance of government policy changes. You remember that, Avik?
Of course I do. Jonas Moberg brought attention to what the government isn't doing in the fight against the climate crisis and what it should do moving forward. He said, "The first thing to recognize here is that we subsidize the use of fossil fuels, meaning the odds are already set by our governments against the use of green energy. We must put an end to it." He then went on to give solutions to these problems by saying that governments can support pilot projects, start companies in this space, make green energy cheaper, and subsidize clean energy companies. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. Change from the government is indeed important.
Yes. And now that we are on this topic, let me tell you what Franz Kallega, technical advisor on green hydrogen working in the Ministry of Mines and Energy in the Republic of Namibia, talked about in relation to the developments in Namibia in the green hydrogen sector. He said this: "The number of jobs in green hydrogen will grow exponentially in the coming years. The Namibian government wants to ensure that the youth is trained and ready for this change. That's why the German grant of 5 million euros for scholarships in Namibia is a great step towards this transformation." And you know, Avik, this wasn't all. He also announced that they are looking forward to launching Youth for Green Hydrogen in Namibia. What great news, no?
Indeed, Mahir. The movement is spreading and the world is changing. It is amazing news. And now that you mention the youth, I recall all speakers talk about the importance of the youth in this movement as well. That line of motivation has stuck with me till date. I want to hear it again. Tell me and our listeners.
I'd love to do the honors. So, Mr. Moberg expressed his happiness towards the youth's contributions by saying, I am utterly delighted to see the leadership and drive amongst the youth in the campaign for clean energy and green hydrogen. Then Dr. Prasad motivated the youth by saying, even though things look bleak and difficult, but just about every solution needed already exists. Therefore, implementation is the only thing left to do to fight the climate crisis, and the youth will come through. Then we had Eric Solheim, chair of the Green Hydrogen Development Plan, say, can young people really change the world and really do something to promote green hydrogen? Well, let me say this, without young people, we will simply fail. Then Franz Kollega said, the future belongs to the youth. Growth is only possible with the youth, and change will come from the youth. And then Maria Jose Gracino, a student of global governance in Spain, said this, it may seem like young people don't have power today, but we do. Our power lies in observing and learning from what's happening right now, so that tomorrow we can change it. And lastly, Ashan Pereira, founder of the Roads to Rights, fired us up with the youth is the leader of today and the transformer of the future world. Really, Abik, what inspiration everywhere.
I agree. I am so excited about Youth for Green Hydrogen and what it will bring for all of us in the coming years.
Now that you mention it, didn't we have Eric Solheim talk about just that?
Yes, you're right. He said, we believe in 20 years green hydrogen will power 25% of the world. We will see its use in transportation, aviation, shipping, trucks, and steel and fertilizer production.
Right, that was exactly it. You've got me excited for the future now too. It was, I think, amazing to see the youth, private companies, civil society organizations, and governments from all over the world come together on this June 5th to make green hydrogen, the fuel of the future, reality in the present.
Indeed, Mahir, and after attending this event, I cannot stop thinking about how green hydrogen will change our world for the better and help us beat this climate crisis once and for all. Hearing such interesting facts, strong urges for action and inspiration for the youth. I can safely say that this event on green hydrogen really changed the way I see things, and this event served its purpose of strengthening the global youth in this fight against the climate crisis very, very well.
Absolutely. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this podcast episode where we covered the highlights and interesting details of the mega event we held on green hydrogen on this Environment Day. We hope you learned how the world believes in green hydrogen, why it is important and a fantastic solution to the climate crisis, and why the youth and every single person should be a part of this. Because without all of us in this fight, we just cannot win. And we won't let that happen, will we? Not at all. So we must keep fighting. So that's it. Thank you everyone for listening in today, and we hope we got you all caught up with our latest event and added some value to the way you see the world. That's all from us today. We will see you in the next episode. Thank you everyone.